Hi, I'm Dianna Campbell, and welcome to my show, Dianna. Okay, okay. I'm not smiling. Okay, I'm too serious. Kind of. Okay. I forgot one. Involved in the community human rights involved advocate. Join me and my exciting guests while we discuss business, education, technology, media, and politics. Get to know me, Dianna, a proud survivor of cancer and founder of BETM Consulting. I'm a passionate and involved human rights and community advocate. Join me on Dianna, and I will see you the next time. Hello, welcome to Talk with Dianna, Survivor, and I have two wonderful guests with me. I have Shelley, Nicole of blaKbushe, and also Jerome Jordan, the guitarist. I met Shelley at the Lincoln Center with Burnt Sugar.
Right.
Okay, and I saw them 2 years in a row, and I thought they were awesome. Because I come from Ohio, and I'm used to Ohio players, and that R&B go back in the day, they are great, and they have a wonderful big band, and Shelley is awesome, and the music's awesome. So Shelley, you have a new project coming up. Let's talk about you, and how did you start with Burnt Sugar? Because I always wonder, how did all you guys get together? You know?
Oh my gosh, yeah. How did I start with Burnt Sugar? I started with Burnt Sugar in 2010, actually, but Burnt Sugar's been around since blaKbushe started the same year. I think 1999. How crazy is that? You know, but yeah, I started with them in 2010, and they were doing a James Brown show actually at the Apollo.
Okay.
And it was a one-man show, and actually Brandon Victor Dixon, who's gone on to do fabulous things, was the lead in that. And I came on and did a couple of songs and played tambourine, and honestly, I thought that would be like it.
Okay.
And now, what, 8 years later? 8 years later, here I am with Burnt Sugar. But yeah, and the band has changed a whole lot, but 2010 is when I came on board.
Okay, so if it changed, so what was it? Because I saw probably about 15, 20 musicians on stage.
Yeah, no, that hasn't changed.
But how did all you two
bigger.
meet and pull that together? Because you guys so in sync when I see you play, and you're just
Well, I mean, the thing that I think makes Burnt Sugar, you know, work is the fact that everybody's a stellar musician. You know, I mean, really, like everybody. Like, there's really nobody that is part of that crew that isn't really great. Everybody. So I think that just makes it easier. You know what I mean? That just makes it, makes it easier. And there's always been like 20.
Yeah, it's like the Super
25.
Friends.
Yeah, exactly. People in that band. And it's Greg Tate's band. Greg Tate and Jared Michael Nickerson are the folks that brought that band together. You know, they're the glue of that band. That's why I always say that Greg is the mad scientist and Jared is one that keeps us paid.
Okay. It keeps y'all busy. Y'all
Keeps
pretty
us
busy.
and he does. And, you know, kudos to Jared. for
So
that.
where else have you played? Because I saw you at Lincoln Center, and I know sometime you're in Harlem, but are you traveling around the country, or do you?
My band blaKbushe. I mean, we have, yeah. I mean, we've been, you know, we've been to Atlanta. Where else did we go? I went to London with the band. We've been to Philly with the band. And, you know, me, myself, you know, sometimes I can't take the whole band, so I'll go to California with the music. I'll go to Michigan with the music, you know, wherever I can go to play.
Okay.
But, yeah, we started, that's why, like, when I sat here thinking about it, it was 1999 when I rolled up to Jerome and was like, I have a song.
Okay.
Can we work it out? And and Jerome and I had played together in other bands with Tamar Kali. I had also played... No, it was, just with Tamar, with me and you.
Right.
But some of the other musicians that I had in the early days came from other bands that I was playing with at that time.
Okay.
So, it's been quite a time. And this project that's coming out now, I Am American, is actually my third project.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm really excited about it.
So how do you keep up with the transition of the music from hip hop? There's more hip hop. I'm an old school. I love R&B, and you know, and I come from I like the raw. Okay.
Right.
So how do you keep up with the music and with the hip hop competition and your audience?
Tell me, what do you mean by the hip hop competition?
Competing with hip hop.
Well, I mean, because most of you here is hip hop. I mean, it's in the mainstream media, basically, but your sound is different. Is unique to me, you know.
And actually, there's way more in the mainstream than just hip hop. Like hip hop is just one of the things.
I know, but you know what I mean. You hear.
Well, I guess I don't pay attention to the mainstream.
I don't either, because I'm versatile. I'm going to find what I like, you know.
Right.
Yeah. But if I walk into a club and some of the events I do with certain people, I mean, you know, their DJ they're just going to play the same songs, and it's irritating to me. And that's why I like my old school. I can go back to the 60s or 50s, 70s, and PBS, of course, is my favorite station, so I get diverse. And Lincoln Center is one of the places that do play a lot of diverse music.
They do.
And that's how I met you guys. And I was just really like thrown when I first heard you. I said, oh my God, I can't believe it. This is so good. This is my realm.
What were you going to say about hip hop?
No, well, I wasn't going to speak about hip hop specifically, but I was going to say that I think we knowing you for a long time, we come from a culture that celebrates alternative and anything that's different. So I think within our space together, in our smaller space and our expanded space, we tend to forget what's in the mainstream, and we appreciate all these alternative artists that like Georgia. Like in hip hop, we love Georgia Ann Muldrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of great.
But like, ask anybody who's Georgia Ann Muldrow.
That's great. I'm just saying,
we
you turn it on,
But
it's just it's like I find what I want. I find the diverse, you know. I do.
Yeah.
But some people don't, and that's part of one of my education projects is to bring art in the Department of Education, but a lot of those are based on hip hop.
So in essence, we don't feel like we're competing with them necessarily.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think the word competition doesn't really.
Well, it's not, you know, well.
Yeah, but I mean, but we don't. You know, if you're out here and you're making music, no matter what style of music you're making, you're just making the music that's coming from your heart. Right. I don't think, at least for the folks that I know, none of us are really focusing so much on like, okay, what's in the top 40? It's really like, okay, what are we making? Because as long as I've known, and I think about the people that are in my circle, everyone that just makes what they want to make, they're successful doing what they do, regardless. You know, and it's not about, I guess, you know, being on the pop charts per se. But if you get there, great. But I guess I don't even really think about it. Okay. I like, if the music is good, I like it. I don't care if it's from today, from yesterday, or from whenever. If it's good, I'm rolling with it.
Okay, so so tell the audience, my audience, where can they find you? If they want to see you, where are you playing, especially in New York City and our tri-state area?
Right. So coming up, we're actually going to be at Lincoln Center Atrium. So my band blaKbushe is going to be there, and I'm very excited about that. Again, because blaKbushe has been there, but blaKbushe has not been there. So that's the difference.
Oh my
God. So Jerome is part of blaKbushe, and so Jerome will be there, and you know, the rest of my
cast of other
super friends.
Oh,
the Avengers will be there.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. You know,
April
my
5th,
gosh.
we will be there performing my music, and you know, so that's awesome because I've played with Burnt Sugar at the Atrium. Gosh, like many times. I mean, it's almost kind of crazy because Burnt Sugar kind of almost has a residency.
They do, and
at Lincoln Center, because we play there about once a year at least, and sometimes. And last year we played there twice. So, you know, big up to Lincoln Center, for really supporting Burnt Sugar and the music and all things that you bring. But I'm really excited to bring my music.
I'm so excited that I'm going to see you there. I mean, really, because it's just, I mean, that's my. I can shake it now. You know, and you have and it's packed because you missed over the winter because the snowstorm, and then you did another show.
Oh, right.
And it was packed. I mean, really, people were looking forward to seeing you again, and I'm quite sure that you're gonna rock on this one. Yeah,
it's gonna be good.
It's a good place to play.
Yeah,
you know, it has a great audience, and people enjoy themselves when they're there, and it's very comfortable. And Jordan, tell me about you. So when did you start playing? And have you always been a musician since you was
always
younger?
been a musician. I always remember doing music since I remember, starting on drums and then moving to violin and then finding the guitar. You know, because people, you know, you can get up and move with the guitar. So I got up and moved with the guitar. Actually, I had a teacher who told me to take a guitar from the school, you know, knowing that I was interested in it, and that's how I started on guitar by stealing from my junior high school. And she, that teacher, Miss Virginia, she came to one of my shows, which was awesome, like later on in my solo shows. But I've always loved music. My mom had me singing, had the whole family singing. You know, when times are hard and times are good, you sing. And my mom, Gabriella Jordan, would sit us down. We sing the OJs. We'd listen to some Minnie Riperton. We sing Stevie Wonder songs in the key of life with key, you know, to keeping us together as a unit and as a, just to keep us, that was like our church.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been playing since you were a little boy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
So
pretty
who's your
much.
idol guitar?
There are so many.
Yeah.
But I like to pick the ones that people don't name all the time. Like for funk and soul, I like Tony Maiden because he's like sweet syrup over, those rhythms, and Shaka Khan, and they join together. John McLaughlin because he appears fully reckless, but he's really within
Oh, yeah. I love him
the
too.
spectrum of whatever's supposed to be happening. George Benson is just, I'm looking at him like, how are you? And then there are rockers. There are people like Danny Ash from Bauhaus who'll just make sounds, that's far beyond what a guitar should be doing. And so I have a lot of idols, but I try not to follow any of them. I try to create my own sound, which I don't know if I've figured out yet.
Okay. So you're writing most of your own music then, basically?
Yeah. Well, I write all of my own music. I tend not to do covers because that requires me remembering other people's lyrics and chords, which for some reason I'm losing the capacity to do more and more every day. But so I do write my own stuff. Yeah. And sometimes, in the beginning at least, I used to, we used to come together and write together for blaKbushe.
It'll happen again.
I see you have a very unique handle there. So how long you've had that guitar?
I had this for, I don't even remember, maybe for like 15 years. But
Gosh, really?
Yeah. Well, I had another Ovation before this, and I was like, I'm not going to get another Ovation. Am I plugging or not plugging this guitar? And then, I picked this up in the store, and I was like, I like the way this sounds. It's a nice, like, chunky, bassy sound, and it looks weird, and I like anything that's a little different.
I know. I'm looking at it. That's
And
the
then I
first thing I
abused it.
said. I said, what a different, unique
I was
guitar
teaching
you
kids in
have.
school, and the school was too hot, and it split the wood. All kinds of things happen.
So you're teaching also?
Yeah, if anybody wants a lesson, come on down. Look me up. But no, also, but right now I'm in a program where I'm teaching with Emory EM Arts, and I'm teaching little kids the blues on ukulele, and it's lots of fun, and it's so
Wonderful.
cute.
See, that's, took my heart already. Listen, you guys, I never know who's sitting there with me, basically all the things they do. And, I just, my heart is art and education. And anyone that work with children is just, I think it's so rewarding, giving back.
I've worked with children a long time. I went from Schomburg Center, producing events, to dealing with doing creative arts therapy with kids. And and then moved on to just doing some enrichment with them, which it's the same effect.
Okay. Are you doing anything with education with children?
Not anymore. I used to. My only thing that I was doing with kids, I shouldn't say the only thing, but I'm also a yoga teacher. So I'm a yoga teacher and a Reiki master, crystal energy healer. So I was doing yoga with the Lower East Side Girls Club for quite some time. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that with them there. Okay. But I haven't, and I was doing yoga with little sun people.
Yes.
Which was really sweet.
Little kids.
But no, I haven't done that in a while. My education is more with adults, and I really feel that is important, and is as important as with children. Because I think that a lot of times adults get overlooked, and we always think that adults have it all figured out.
Oh, no, I don't. I'm in so many. I try to get, now you're going to be one.
Oh, no, you got another client.
Because I take it at the Gilda Cancer Club, they offer that course in the Y, where I live in Soho, NoHo, you call it the Chinese Chinatown Y, and they offer those courses also. But it's adults, mainly, and we need it.
And I
we forget. People forget that we have to keep maintaining, because this is the new 30.
Right on.
And people also, forget, or not even forget, but as we get older, people, like I said, there's this perception that as you get older that everybody just has it together, and oftentimes that's the moment when it's like everything feels like it's falling apart. So when you need a little extra and somebody to have some alternative means of coping in this world every day.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's so much. I'm involved in so many things anyway. One of my projects is committees of rare disease, because I'm a cancer survivor. And we have a whole health. It's all about health, how to eat and exercise and mental health. And for me, in my survivorship, it has been based around art. It had everything. I don't care if it was painting, if I was doing yoga, Reiki. I don't feel I would really survive without the art. So it's just in the music and everything. And being in New York, it's constant 24 hours, so. I'm totally in touch with that, and I'm going to get you to work some projects with me.
Well, yeah, one of the communities that I work with is at this place called Ruby's Place, and it's a community of folks who were formerly homeless and in recovery, and also dealing with mental illness. Most folks on medication, but they're dealing with that. But a lot of that too is about having bringing them into the arts and having art therapy there for them. And I do. Talk therapy there with them, but also now that everybody knows that I'm a singer, they're all like, "Oh, we're all coming to the show."
Okay.
So
it's part of the therapy.
It's part of the therapy. So it's definitely, the arts are definitely important for the healing.
Well, I didn't know that about you. I mean, you're just touching my heart, because these are things that I like and I enjoy, and special people do those things. And here you are sitting here. I just thought you were just with a big bag.
Well, we're a little more complex, you know what I'm saying? I think all of us. I don't think any of the artist friends I know are just straight up, straight ahead, just like, especially in New York, you have to almost have to do something else. And hopefully it's, something that is enriching, giving back or doing something.
Have you done any plays?
Oh, yeah.
Anything?
Yeah.
What?
That's my other thing.
Okay. Yeah, what?
Yeah, because it's funny. I always say that it's kind of funny that I'm a singer because I've always sang. Like, I've always sang since I was a kid. But theater was really my first love.
Okay.
So I always thought that I would, come to New York and be on Broadway, and that would be, what I was doing. But that didn't quite happen yet. So, but yeah, I did a play. I still do plays, all the time. So... Was it last year? I'm trying to think. Last year or 2 years ago, I was in this play called The Messiah Complex.
Okay.
That happened at Brick in Brooklyn. I was for several years a part of this sketch comedy troupe called American Candy. So we did sketch comedy. And American Candy's still doing their thing. I'm trying to think. God, plays Tish Benson. God, that was a long time ago. I did this play called Hair Story with this awesome writer, poet named Tish Benson at the Manhattan. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember the name of that theater. It's been a while. But But yeah, theater acting is like my other thing.
Okay.
And then, I came up in the spoken word scene in New York, in the 90s too. That's actually where I met Jerome. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I met you there first or I met you with T first. I can't remember.
I think it was like one of those rooms first, maybe Tea Party or
I feel like it was like, were you playing with Entified and Supernova?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Or something like that. But we come out of, in the 90s, there were a lot. Like the spoken word scene was kind of on the rise again, because it makes that cycle,
Right.
And so there were a few spaces. There was the Brooklyn Moon Cafe. There was the Tea Party, which was before it was a bad word, which was happening at a place called Frank's Lounge in Fort Greene. In the Bronx, there was a place called The Point. In Queens, there was a spot called the African Theater. I think it was African Theater Workshop or something like that. Queens, don't kill me.
Queens is coming from.
But anyway, so you could kind of move around. Oh, and of course, the Nuyorican.
The Nuyorican, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to mention
the Nuyorican. But people would just kind of move around and do their thing. So I was specifically part of the Tea Party. And like I said, I feel like that might have been where I first saw Jerome or met Jerome. And there was so many great artists that came through there, that people know.
You should go back to the Nuyorican. I had Rome Neal.
Yes.
He was on my show.
Yes.
I keep on. He's
they
just
keep
so
it going,
great.
man. Nuyorican.
I was there the other day.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, they always keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, that's just not too far from me, down the street. And my first time going was like 2 years ago. And
that was your first time going?
That was 2 years ago. Well, I'm not. I didn't grow up in New York.
Okay.
So.
All right, we'll give you a pass.
We started to judge.
I didn't know this was part of the East Village. I didn't know anything about it. Much as I love art and always came here every year, I never had been there. And I had Rome Neal on my show, and he was talking about it. And I said, "Oh wow, this is awesome." And they said they've been there like 40 years or so.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
So it's a staple.
Yeah. I mean, almost any poet you can name has come through the Nuyorican.
Yeah. I went there. I used to play with Saul Williams. There's a picture of him up on the wall. Like somebody did a portrait of some of the poets out there, making a name for poetry.
Sarah Jones is now doing all kind of stuff. Have all kind of one-woman shows everywhere. I mean, all kind of folks that come through the Nuyorican.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Rome Neal.
I've probably seen you.
He's so serious.
I've probably seen you out there, and just didn't.
I mean, I haven't been to the Nuyorican in a while. And if you only started going there 2 years ago, then you probably.
No, I mean other places.
Oh, other
probably
places.
that you seen you over the years, and you were there.
Yes, absolutely.
In that space somewhere. I'm so glad you came. So now I get to know all about you, and let's talk about this project. So how long have you been doing this project, and you're getting ready to launch? When? This album coming out?
We started recording the album. I cannot believe this because things keep popping up in my Google. I hate to even say it. We started recording in 2014. Can you believe that? Crazy. So.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's been done now. But the album has been finished now for like almost a year now. But the album is produced by Vernon Reid from Living Color.
Oh, get out!
Yeah, so I'm really excited
about
that.
I've been watching the reruns lately. Man, I'm telling you, I love my reruns.
No, not the show Living Color. The band.
The band Living Color. Oh, okay, all right. That's where they got the name from. I don't know.
Cult of Personality Living Color.
Yeah, Cult of Personality Living Color. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Vernon Reid, Corey Glover, Doug Wimbush, Will Calhoun, Living Color.
Okay.
So
Muskillings
original Living Color.
Just so,
Yeah, Muskillings was the original bass player in Living Color before Doug Wimbush came on board.
Legendary Doug Wimbush.
Yeah, legendary Doug Wimbush for real. All of them, really.
All of them
really legends. So yeah, you should look up Living Color if you're not familiar, because talk about guitar heroes. That's Vernon Reid is one of them. Talk about vocal heroes, Corey Glover.
Yes.
is one of them. Talk about drum heroes, Will Calhoun is one of them. And of course,
I should have mentioned all of them.
I know. I mean, really, amazing band. Groundbreaking rock band. Groundbreaking. But anyway, Vernon Reid produced my record, and really excited about that. That came about after, because Vernon Reid sometimes would perform with Burnt Sugar. So I really got to know him in that capacity, even though I knew him before, but I didn't really get to know him until we started to play together in that band. And so in 2014, we started recording, and I'm really excited. The album is called I Am American. It's got, of course, Jerome and Jeff Judy and Ganessa. These are my staple people: Ganessa James, Sean Banks, Kiki
Kiki Hawkins.
Hawkins. I was about to call her
Kiki Experience.
No,
the Kiki Experience.
Yes.
That's something
to
to
the
see.
Kiki Experience, but that's what her band is called.
Okay.
And Matsu on drums. And I have awesome special guests. So we have Aki Burmese on keys. Ooh, if you're not familiar with Aki Burmese, you need to know him. He's a god. Leon Gruenbaum is also playing keys. I have Wayne Cobham playing trumpet. Oh, how could I forget V. Jeffrey Smith? He's playing all the saxophones on everything.
Oh, wow.
Another legend.
And he's also Burnt Sugar, as you well know.
Yeah.
And so is Leon. You might remember Leon Gruenbaum is also part of Burnt Sugar. Ben Tyree, who's also part of Burnt Sugar. Flip Barnes, who's also part of Burnt Sugar. So it's all the super
You got
friends.
a whole orchestra in
this record. So Amma Watt is singing on this record. Martha Redbone is singing on this record.
Oh, I love her.
Yes, I'm so excited about that. And I know I'm forgetting. Oh, Vicki Randall. Vicki Randall, so if you remember from Jay Leno on The Tonight Show, for many years it was one woman in that band.
That one woman, that's her?
That's Vicki Randall.
Oh,
so
my
Vicki
God.
Randall is playing on the record.
Okay.
This fabulous vibes player named William Shore, who I learned later was also he played with Butch Morris. So Butch Morris is how Burnt Sugar was born. Like it came out of that whole conduction that Butch put together, and so it's so family. It's like you think people are kind of on the outside of things, but it's all inside the family. And I hope I'm not forgetting somebody. But
You said Sean Banks.
I did say Sean Banks. But if I didn't, Sean Banks.
Making sure.
And
the little child on glockenspiel.
Yes, the child on glockenspiel.
I say the little child because she was.
Yes,
all these people.
I want to say her. I want to call her Emily, and that's not her name. But there was a young lady who came in just to really observe the recording process, and then she ended up playing glockenspiel on the record. So, and glockenspiel, for those of you who don't know, is like a little tiny xylophone.
Right.
It's like it almost looks like a Fisher-Price toy.
Right.
But
and you'll hear it. It's
you'll
a classic.
hear
It's in classic soul, right?
Classic, sound.
trying to think
It
of-
is in classic soul. It's like everywhere,
Did
right?
not blow your mind. I'm trying to remember where that little thing.
Yeah,
ting, ting,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
like sectionate chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a really, and I have to shout out Alan Camlett, who was my engineer on the project, and we had such an amazing time. So I know I just shouted out everybody, but but I'm so thankful and grateful to everybody who came and gave their time, energy, talent, spirit to this
God,
project.
it looked like you just had a lot of fun doing
We did.
this.
We had a really great time doing it. And so the project, so on the 5th, when we come to Lincoln Center, is the official release of the first single from the album, which is Punani Politics, which we can talk about. But Punani Politics is the first single, and then the album is going to be released in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You hear that?
Yes.
I go to Lincoln Center, okay?
Yes.
You have to go to the Lincoln Center
April
every
5th.
Thursday. Free concerts of every type of music. There's plays there, and Jordana. I got to give Jordana a shout out because
Yes,
she's
you
really
do.
good.
And I have to shout out, I forgot one person. I forgot Drew Akali, who's on Punani Politics.
Okay.
He's the one doing the rhyme on it. I can't forget him, yes.
Oh, so you
Brad, just a
have
Brad?
it's not just music.
Oh, and Brad. Oh my gosh, and Brad Wallrun. Brad Wallrun is also on the record.
More?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
more
my
people.
God. So is it poetry, spoken word, and music all mixed?
Well,
What?
blaKbushe, the sound is rock, funk, soul.
Okay.
That's what we do. I mean, there is some spoken word on there, but that's Brad. Brad is coming through, and he gave us a little, spoken word. But for the most part, it is song, is music and song.
Oh God! Wow! God, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's an
I
adventure.
can't wait.
It
The
is
album's
an
an
adventure.
I
adventure.
can't
Big.
wait.
Yeah.
No wonder it
bold.
took you a few years to do it.
Yeah,
So people
and
were
also,
just coming
I
in.
had to wait for my superstar producer who was on the road with his superstar band.
That
patience
patience
fine,
pays
and
off.
That patience paid off. I mean,
Okay.
really, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So you guys gonna Jordan,
Do a little
gonna
number?
Play?
Yeah.
You want to do
You're
a
gonna
little?
play a few things. I can't sing. The only thing I can do is dance. People always giving me the mic. I know a lot of artists on stage. They just said, "Oh God, just talk, and just dance." Okay, I can't sing a
Well, you
thing.
can dance, or you can go dance. I'm just kidding. So, so we'll do Punani Politics. So Punani Politics is the song that actually we're releasing on the 5th, officially at the show. Even though Punani Politics, it's kind of been out in the world a little bit, but not this version.
Right.
And not
That's on
this
the album,
version,
not
right.
this version. It's a different version.
It's a different version.
You know, it's live.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I don't think I'm gonna shake. Stop playing politics with my punani. Stop playing politics with my punani. Hey, 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 Republicans. I see you called on your fellow man. All dicks and no nuts. And you rush to call me a slut? I'm standing up for what is mine. Call me the rib, but I'm really the spine of this whole great nation. Ain't gonna put me back on the plantation. No, stop playing politics with my punani. Stop playing politics with my punani. Don't see me out here trying to legislate. When you stick your Johnson, though, I'd have a case. Using it for some ill. Then you call some rape legitimate. Say what? I'm not a hotbed for breeding. Just something that you can plant your seed in. I know it feels nice when you give me the juice, but you can't dictate how I reproduce. Oh, hell. Stop playing politics with my punani. Stop playing politics with my punani. You say abortion is a license to kill. Say right to life, wanna ban a pill. But got no problem with lethal injection. But hey, hey, hold up, ain't that killing? I'm not just here for your games and fun. Hey yo, back up off my nana, son. As if I don't have a right mind. I decide what to do with mine. 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 Stop playing politics with my punani.
Oh wow! Yeah. That's awesome. Wait a minute.
Fun. Yes.
That is so on time.
Yes! Yes.
The problem is it's been on
It's
time.
been on time. Excuse
That
me.
is
Yeah.
so on time. We're talking about in politics right now.
Yes.
It's so, and I love that.
Yes, it's right on time. And it's funny because, like I said, we wrote it a while ago, but now it's like everything is just really serendipitous at this moment.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that.
Straightforward. That message is clear.
And this kind of music, you just, and it catches. You just want it. I
And
love
we hope
that.
it keeps catching.
Love it keeps catching.
Keeps catching.
You
Catching
do a
us
lot
all
of
the
those
way into me and
sound
Jerome's
bites on,
big house. That's where it should keep catching.
Right to Congress.
All the way around the country.
Right to the White House.
Yeah, I can see it blowing up
Right
on
to our bank
YouTube and
accounts.
putting up awards and all
Look.
these things that's going on right now. I mean, we're protesting everything right now. I mean, everything, all those words you said, it's basically the foundations what's going on now. The abortions and everything. It's just totally, and people just, and they're all just out there. And I'm on the ground. I'm an activist, so.
Yeah, I just feel like every time something, when the government, when they feel like they're losing footing, then they start to turn their attention toward women. And they start to turn their attention toward what we're doing over here. And they try and, start to dictate. And then it's a deflection. I mean, I know that they mean to do what they say, but at the same time, it's also a deflection from, like, the fact that, all the other madness that is going on that really needs to be taken care of.
You don't have a job.
Right, exactly.
Or you work
and
don't
have insurance, that people aren't making, don't have jobs. People don't have health care. People can't get a good education, Our president is lecherous, treacherous, and crazy. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these things.
Oh, my God. I can't get it out.
That's another song.
No, that's another song.
I mean, that's why I'm in D.C. a lot, and just, God, and it's just, well, come on now. I mean, you can't kill people, you can't,
well,
you got to give us a break. I mean, you have too many. I mean, how many you going to take over? It's just like, it's almost like you just want this country to be communist, and that's the feeling. And that's, I believe that's really what some want to do, is just control everybody and put them in a box. But as you know, I always believe that history repeats itself, and James Baldwin said that 200 years, this is it. We're in the 200 years and everything changed, but it's going to change anyway.
Yeah, history doesn't have to repeat itself. If we could do better.
We can do better. It'll be done
you know
better.
What I mean? We as human beings could do better. Like, we don't, how about learning from what has happened in the past so that we don't continue to repeat,
Right.
So, I know it's easier said than done, or at least people feel like it's easier said than done.
Well, it's not. It's not to the point now. Basically, when they're trying to take away education, and that's what they're trying to do. It's basically take away education.
That's why we don't learn from our mistakes.
Yeah,
because there's no education.
Nobody knows how to process
you
properly.
You won't learn if you have no education, nothing to compare it to. And I think that's where a lot of the country is. They haven't had the proper education, and that's what I'm activist for education because of that. In our schools, especially our inner city public schools, don't teach what I grew up. Some people don't even know the Constitution. Someone wrote on my Facebook, it was such a stupid thing. I'm like, wait a minute, did they have Civics 101? Did they have another Constitution? They were basically talking about how the White House have, I think we were on about our 22nd, 23rd people left. And someone said, well, remember one of the president had so many generals. I'm like, we're talking about the White House. We're not talking about an army changing journal. Right. We're talking about our White House, and those are positions that you have to respect. And that's under fire now, and that's kind of scary. We never seen a White House like that before, to just have your top people. Yeah. If this was a corporation, this person would be fired.
Let's not even go that far. If this was Barack Obama, he would be fired.
Oh, my God. Dismiss him and crush him.
Among other things, dismissal would have been easy.
That would have been the easy part. But it's really, it's devastating. I'm lobbying for the rare disease and cancer and education. And to me, health and education is number one. And then our environment, We're looking at weather we have now, and I never seen this storm we had last week. It was like, what's this blowing away, people? This storm, like, what kind of storm? They called it some kind of bomb or something, this thing, and that was in D.C. there and got stuck for a few days. I said, I've seen hurricanes and all kind of things. I've never seen anything like that again. Now it's just changed. We're killing our environment. So education is the bottom line, and we don't. But we can train people and teach people through music, and you're doing a good job. That's why we need you people like you that are creative and, to get the message out. Because what they hear is what they repeat, and they more, resonate what they hear with music, and that's, is a positive thing. So I look up to you guys. I wish I could sing, but I'll play something. But anyway, I can dance. I was gonna say,
if you took some time, you could probably play something too. You're here as long as you have breath. You can start right where you are.
Well, of course, because it's. really just turning things around and trying again. I'm not going to say I can't. I did take 3 instruments in my life. There was a violin. It was a violin, but to stop me was like, I really wanted a piano. Like, my family wouldn't put a piano in the house, but it was the violin. I was doing the violin until I heard Noah Pointer.
No Pointer.
I was just like, oh my God, if I heard you then, I would have played.
Yeah, you would have, or
I would have played.
I would have continued.
I would have continued, you know, because I was just so, you know, God, I miss him dearly. You know, he was a good friend of mine. But that was that basic was doing that, and kalimba and something else, whatever. But it was that violin that just distorted me, and I said, well, I'm not going to do anything else, you know. But I'm working on it. It's not over yet.
It ain't over.
It's not over yet, you know. Working
Especially if it's in your heart.
It's in it. Yeah. I would just love to sit on piano and get it away. So, and do you have another project coming up yourself? Are you producing anything or what?
I'm always producing music and writing music and recording music at home. I like to sit in my little home studio and do things by myself and then bring it out somehow, some way. You know, I'm still trying to figure out the changes in the industry and how people are listening to music and you know, one of my goals is to, you know, get through some of the crap that we're hearing, you know, and just put out some music with integrity. But you know, and that's according to me. You know, I'm always aware. When I was dealing with the little kids, I was like, "There's crappy music out there, little kids." I'm kidding. And they were like, "What's the crappy music?" And it's like whatever I don't like.
Oh my gosh.
So I have, you know, I have a video that's about to come out as soon as we finish it, to a song that I did about, you know, about changing relationships, you know.
That's wonderful.
And a couple of songs I'm working on that I'm coming out with. I have to figure out where the focus is.
Okay.
How I'm going to do that.
So have you had an album out or anything yourself?
Do people still put albums out? I don't know. I'm just, I don't mean. I'm a little lost on the process anymore. You know, there's internet. People just drop things on YouTube.
You call it an album. I call it an album. It's a project with more than one song on it.
I actually saw an actual album in Philly the other day. It was like the collection of records but you know, the collection of vinyl in the album form. But
you know they're coming back, right?
Oh yeah,
they're already back.
Because now their turntables you can buy. Matter of fact, their turntables they're Bluetooth. I see one. They're like this small,
Bluetooth turntables,
and you can carry it around. And oh my God!
Look, people are trying to come back with reel to reel. I saw a little thing about that.
Oh Lord, no!
Yeah, but reel to reel, but old school, thick reel to reel.
I know. Hey, I grew up, and I told you I'm over 60, so I remember we used to have parties with the reel. I had a friend, and he would tape 3 days of music. So we have 3 days of parties, okay?
Oh, nice,
so
nice, okay.
It would just, that's how long they were.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he was the master of the reel, you know? And he gave a party and it just hours and days of music. But remember, you had to get that off the album and records and tape.
Yeah, you had to tape it
to just to the reel.
I'm talking about people. They would sell the actual recordings on reels. You know, especially jazz and you know.
My grandfather had
so
that.
Apparently a couple, but it's probably really expensive right now. But and the players are really expensive. But no, yeah. So I'm coming out with something. I haven't figured out the date yet, but you know, I'm coming out with.
Okay, well,
soul,
let
rock,
me know.
funk, a little jazz influence in there. You know, a little 80s new wave influence, which I love.
Who influenced you the most? I mean, really, when you just writing something, is it like?
That's such a challenging question.
It's like,
I don't think that's a real thing when you say
mean,
influence the most.
Or just is it?
You know, I like beauty. I like lushness.
Okay.
You know, so if anybody's
providing
love,
is it?
I like sparseness, also sparsity, whatever you call it. So I like contrasts. You know, of course, you know, as I said, you know, my mom had songs in the key of life going, you know, on a kind of loop. So Stevie Wonder, of course, yacht rock, things, you know, when people actually played guitars into microphones and they landed on tape. I like that stuff. You know, what people call yacht rock now, like Steely Dan, Kenny Loggins. Don't make fun of Kenny Loggins.
Oh, I love
Kenny Loggins is
Awesome.
awesome.
I mean,
You know.
everybody you mentioned, those were my people.
But let me say something
Thank
to
you.
y'all.
Okay.
People still play guitars through microphones.
I know we did it on your album.
Or do some contraption. Like, let's not act like there's nothing out here that is worthy or worthwhile, and that people aren't really making good music.
No,
But I'm not saying. I'm saying
Okay.
people who do that now. Or people who don't do that.
I just want to
All
be
right.
in
I'm
a
just
space.
checking. I'm just checking.
I hear you.
No,
I'm gonna high five you on that check.
I get around.
No, that's a good
I
check.
meet some awesome people, and I'm like, oh God, oh, I'm so glad to meet you. Like, you're sitting here. Okay, so I hear it because I find it. It finds me.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I have
Because
some
that's
guilty
what
pleasures,
I'm
too.
attracted to, and this
I
is
know I
what, that's my energy. I find it, and I want to hear. I just want it around me. You know, when I walk out the door, like when I'm in Whole Foods, I want to pipe it. Or
No,
something.
I don't know if there's a whole lot of hip hop happening at Whole Foods. Not that I've heard anyway.
No, I hear some good music. in
Okay,
there.
Whole Foods. That's
Yeah,
what-
she's saying good stuff. She's saying
I be
good
wanting
stuff.
to find. I be wanting to find the guide. Whoever turned on the tapes and stuff. I said, "Oh wow, who's taping?" I mean, I may stay in the store because what I
Because
hear.
of what you hear.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
and my favorite stores, Bed Bath & Beyond and all Marshalls. I mean, when they piping up the music, I'm like, wow, who's doing the music? I mean, they coming from my ear. And I went, well, let me meet this person. I want the tape. What channel? They say, well, they're streaming. I said, well, I don't know about no streaming. I don't be streaming, you know. So,
Right.
no, I just want more around me. Because I find it, but I would like to just hear more of it, you know, in spaces, you know.
And there are people doing great stuff now, and I appreciate them too. You know, so
Yeah. Well, like I said, my favorite channel was PBS, so I get it all. You know, they go way back. You know, they go back to the '60s and '50s, and oh my goodness! And
gonna
one
start
of my
releasing
favorite
soul
person I had on my
episodes
show,
or
yeah, I had the original
They're bringing it back.
doo-wop, Tony Middleton. He was one of my guests.
Oh,
You know.
nice.
I mean, I told you, I love some music. A baby. I mean, I just love art, you know, and music. So I find him. I found Tony Middleton. He's my favorite doo-wop,
Nice.
you know.
I recently found a woman named Madeline Bell that I didn't know about until recently. John Paul Jones played bass and I think produced that record. And there's a great version of To Serve With Love on there that I've been
Oh,
rocking.
wow.
It's got one of the old school stereo mix where all the horns and strings
on
are
one
here
side.
and all the drums. You know, it's
Total pan.
the total pan. It's awesome.
Yeah, she was on PBS last week.
What?
Petula Clark. They did. I'm telling you,
Oh,
every
Petula Clark was on. Yeah.
yes, and she did Serve With Love and all those. I mean,
was
that's
Lulu
where
who did the
that's where
original.
Lulu she was on. I mean, this last week they had the 50s. They had this past month the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. So I just go like crazy, you know. And I always see ran into Denise Richardson over there, you know, at an event last few weeks ago. And I said, I always see you guys. You guys have my music. I said, it's great. You know, I'll find it. I find mine, but I'll just like to walk out the door and just grab me, you know, let it grab me. So, yeah, but.
Yeah. So a little bit of
No, what I was
everything
saying was
influences
basically
music.
what motivates you in music is it just, you know, some people are in tune with the earth or the sun or, you know, the environment. And
Right.
sometimes they just, if it's storming or the rain or the sun come out and they just event music all around that. That's what I meant, not so much of.
Okay, no, I do get inspired when at night I look out the window and I see when I can see other planets, when I can see like Mars and Jupiter, I begin to think about my place in the universe, and I have so many songs about the sun and the moon,
Yeah.
or they come up in lyrics or oceans and so nature and the universe in general does
Yeah.
influence me. I'm all cosmic and
Yeah.
He's very cosmic.
Yeah.
I'm not
Really?
that deep.
You're not.
you're deep.
You
I'm
are.
deep on the other
Totally
spectrum.
deep on the other.
You are in your own way. You are. Yeah. That's what I meant. Not
Faustian
someone, one
tales.
person. I would just meant. You're feeling what you know, some people say the weather, it could be the moon or the sun.
I'm intrigued by
or the
Faustian
ocean.
tales, people trying to sell their souls and stuff like that intrigues me. I'm just like, that's fun. You know, so I read about things like that.
Oh, so I'm so glad you came and see me. And I didn't know anything about your project. I didn't know anything about your music. I didn't know anything where you came from. I just saw you burn sugar, and I said, this is some substance, because everybody in that band, I said, all these are musicians, every last one of them.
They are.
All special. And the collaboration you guys have together, it's just like you guys, like a whole family. It's just loving to see you guys together.
I think that's the only reason why we keep playing together. Is because we like each other.
You can really see, you know, you can say they really, really, hey, they get along. You compliment, and what's the gentleman, the lead, that
Mikhail?
Mikhail.
Mikhail.
With the bun?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Now you're representing Mikhail, yeah.
He is something.
He
be really into it. He's just like, I'm the director, and he's just like, I just love to see him. I tape that. On this wood, I'll be adding something to tape my soul on this particular minutes. Yeah, I have to put burnt sugar on part of this interview because that's how I met you, and it's just so inspiring. I'm so glad you came.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely.
And come back and see me again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to play something else?
Sure, we might have one more in the can.
Something else.
Am I gonna play my kazoo? Okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
Should I do it?
Okay. You play kazoo too?
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
You think it'd be fun? So I wrote this song called Black Girls. God, also many moons ago, but I really wrote it for all the black women in my musical circles who are busting their tail all the time and just trying to get their music out there, get heard. You know, we all have our various stories about the things that we've run into when we show our blackness. But yeah, I just wrote a little anthem for the girls.
Yeah, and this is Women's Month.
And it is Women's Month too.
Yeah.
All right. All this timeliness.
Yeah.
Right?
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Black girls work and black girls cry. Black girls step out looking fly. Black girls take care of themselves, but that don't mean they don't need no one else. Black girls smoke and black girls drink. Black girls eat healthy, look pretty in pink. Some boys say black girls are too much pain, but don't they love you through your fire and rain? So don't be afraid of the black girls. Can a girl catch a break? Don't be intimidated. Can a girl catch a break? Black girls cook and black girls clean. Black girls got style, be looking mean. Black girls doctor and black girls shout, 'cause if you trip, you know they'll cuss you out. Black girls party, some are a hot mess, but when they need to, they'll get down to business. Black girls got fire, body and soul. They'll put it on you, make you beg for more, but don't be afraid of the black girls. Can a girl catch a break? Don't be intimidated. Can a girl catch a break? Black girls rock and black girls roll. Black girls funk and black girls soul. Black girls jazz and black girls folk. They sing so lovely and it ain't no joke. Black girls write and black girls play. Black girls strap on and make their guitar sing. Black girls got fire, make you believe that black girl magic, it will set you free. So don't be afraid of the black girls. Can a girl catch a break? Don't be intimidated. Can a girl catch a break? Don't be intimidated. Can a girl catch a break? Don't be intimidated. Can a girl catch a break? Here we go. You gotta keep playing.
I didn't know if you were going to solo. I was going to solo.
Okay, solo. Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. Go for it.
You going to do the riff?
No, go ahead.
What? You're not going to do the riff?
No.
Go ahead. It's you solo. You solo.
I thought you were gonna solo.
I was like, you solo.
See,
love that.
it's all good.
Oh, no, yeah. We should have.
So good. And
Crazy
he is
moment.
so in tune
That's
with
that's what you call behind the music.
Behind the music.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
Oh,
We didn't discuss what was going to happen.
We did discuss it. We did discuss it. That's our fault. That's
and
our
he's
fault.
so happy playing for you.
It's
I
music.
love his expression.
you know.
when he
As
just
V. Jeffrey
plays.
say, it's just some notes.
Yeah, some notes.
It's all good.
Oh my God.
Don't step on your glasses.
Okay, I see that.
Okay.
Okay, Shelley
Yes.
and Jordan, thank you. And your project is what? And it's going to be when? And you're going to be
Yes.
where?
So the band is Shelley Nicole's blaKbushe.
Okay.
The project is I Am American. The single is Punani Politics. The show is April 5th at Lincoln Center Atrium. It's going to, Jerome Jordan is going to be there with me. Ganesh James is going to be there with me. Matsu is going to be there. Sean Banks is going to be there. Kiki is going to be there.
Oh
B.
my
Jeffrey
goodness.
Smith is going to be there.
Yep.
And a whole host. Oh, and Jeff Judy's going to be there and a whole host
All
of other
right.
awesomeness.
Yeah.
Hey.
Special guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, special guests. So please come. It's free. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to have very cool merchandise there. I'm not even going to say what it is at this moment.
Okay.
But you need to come
gotta
and get the
come.
merchandise.
Lincoln
and then you
Center
can find out
Atrium.
that day. You know, you'll be able to download. Yes, you have to download it that day. I don't have
Okay.
any physical. The single is going to be downloadable. The album will have physical.
Okay, that's great, Shelley and
Yeah.
Jordan. Thank you. And come back to see Talk with Dianna Survivor. And I told you, always going to be in a treat when you come. Tune in. Monday mornings, 10 to 11, mnn.org. Thank you, audience.
Thanks, Diana.
And thank you, Shelley
Yeah,
and
thank
Jordan.
you. Thank you, Jerome. Don't see me out here trying to legislate. When you stick your Johnson, though, I'd have a case. Using it for some ill. Then you call some rape legitimate, say what? I'm not a hotbed for breeding. Just something that you can plant your seed in. I know it feels nice when you give me the juice, but you can't dictate how I reproduce. Oh, hell. Stop playing politics with my punani. Stop playing politics with my punani. You say abortion is a license to kill. Say right to life, wanna ban a pill. But got no problem with lethal injection. But hey, hold